All right, Mrs. Teasley here. Today I want to talk about models and applications. So basically, word problems. The first part, we're going to talk about how to solve for a variable in an equation. So the first one, these are formulas. The first one might be familiar. This is the distance formula. Distance equals rate times time. And they want us to solve it for the variable t. So we're solving for t. So my eye is on t. I'm trying to get t by itself. I want to isolate the t. So this is d equals rt. To get this t by itself, I have to get rid of the r. The r is being multiplied to the t. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by r. The r's cancel out. I'm left with d over r equals t. This is your answer. This is what you will put in a box, what t equals. T equals d over r. All right, for part B, here, they want us to solve for k. If you notice, this k pops up twice. The only way I can get this k isolated so I can see it only one time, I'm going to have to factor. So here we go with this factoring again. So let me rewrite this over here. So this is s equals kr squared plus krl. Since the k pops up twice, I need to factor out the k. So the k is now what we call our greatest common factor. Because again, you're trying to solve for k. So I want to isolate this k, so I'm going to factor it out. When I factor out the k, I'm left with the r squared plus rl. And s is on this side. Your goal is to get k by itself. Well, what's keeping k from being by itself? What's keeping k from being by itself is that parentheses that's beside it. That parentheses is being multiplied to k. So again, the opposite of multiplication is division. I'm going to divide that entire parentheses. And what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So my final answer is s over. All right, and this stuff is case sensitive. So if you see a lowercase or a little r, you want to keep it as little r. So r squared plus rl equals k. All right, so when you put this into my lab, my math lab, you want to make sure that your s is capital, like it is in the original problem, and the r and the l, all that stuff is lowercase. All right, so try letter C. All right, try C. All right, so for C, they want me to solve for y. So I need to get y by itself. First of all, I see this y over here, and I see a y in that parentheses. Let me get rid of this parentheses by using the distributive property first. So this is 11y plus 8 equals 8y plus 10w minus 6z. Your goal is to get y by itself. So what you want to do is you want to get the y's together. You want to get that 8y and 11y on the same side. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to get rid of this minus 8y from the right side by subtracting it from both sides. 11y minus 8y is 3y plus 8 equals this 10w minus 6z. I want to get rid of the 8, so I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. And since you don't have anything to subtract 8 from, you just stick it behind the z. So this is 3y equals 10w minus 6z and minus 8. Well, I still need to get y by itself. What's keeping the y from being by itself here is the fact that it has a 3 beside it. So this 3 is being multiplied to the y. So to get rid of it, I need to divide by 3. And what you want to do over here, you just want to draw one big old fraction bar. All right, hopefully you can see that. And just put it over 3. And that's your answer. Y equals this fraction. I wouldn't do any extra stuff. I wouldn't try to split it apart. I would just put it into my math lab just like this. This is the only thing you want to put in is what I have in that box. So again, that's solving for a variable. So you're trying to get the variable by itself. Here, They give you some different steps on how to solve the word problems. So this is something definitely that you can come back and refer to. So solving an applied problem. And the hardest part is setting up the equation. All right, so again, I'm going to kind of go through this stuff as I work out the problems. So my first example is 7 times the number is equal to 12 more than 3 times the number. Find the number. All right, they want me to find a number. What is the number? We don't know what the number is. So we start off by writing an equation. So it says 7 times a number. Again, I don't know what the number is, so this would be 7 times x, or just 7x. Is equal to, that's your equal sign, 12 more than 3 times a number. So that means you're going to take 3 times the number and you're going to add 12 to that. So 3 times the number, which we don't know, and you add 12 to that. So it's 3x, and then you add 12 to that. So that's the equation. This is the equation that I need to solve. And yes, you could have put 12 plus 3x. It didn't matter because you're saying 12 more than, but when if it said 12 less than, then order definitely does matter. So you want to make sure you put it in the correct order. And I'll talk about that when we get to our next example, because I see it in the next example. But here we need to solve this equation. So looking at this equation, again, I want to get x by itself. It says find the number. What is x? So I'm going to subtract this 3x from both sides. 7x minus 3x is 4x equals 12. To get x by itself, I need to divide both sides by 4. X equals 3. This is the number. All right, try the next example. All right, remember I talked about order. Look how I wrote 12 more than 3 times the number. See if you could try the next one. All right, so moving on. 10 more than 6 times the number is 4 less than 4 times the number. Find the number. So that's what we're ultimately trying to do. So 10 more than 6 times the number. What's 6 times the number? All right, 6 times the number is going to be 6x. And if you're doing 10 more than that, you want to add 10 to it. Is, or is equal to, that's your equal symbol. It says 4 less. All right, so this is my equal sign. 4 less than 4 times the number. So here, this is when the order definitely matters. You want to do 4 times the number first, and then it's 4 less than that, so you have to subtract 4. So the 4 times the number comes first, and then you subtract the 4. And this is the equation that we're going to use to solve for x. So I want to get x by itself. I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So I'm trying to get x by itself. So 6x minus 4x is 2x. Bring down my plus 10 equals negative 4. I'm going to now, to get rid of that plus 10, I want to subtract 10 from both sides. So I get 2x equals negative 4 minus 10, which is negative 14. To get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So x equals negative 7. All right. So now it says, it's talking about the perimeter. So here, I know I kind of wrote over this. I'm going to move this out the way in a moment. Let me actually. What did I just do? Let's see. I don't know. Let me see if I can move this out the way for space. Okay. All right. So here, they want me to move it up a little bit more. They give me the perimeter of a rectangle. They want me to find the dimensions, so they want me to find the L and the W, the length and the width. So find the dimensions if its length is 4 inches greater than its width. All right, so rectangles, I want to draw me a picture. It tells me that the perimeter, so when that means when I add up all the sides, it should give me 24 inches. There's a formula for perimeter. Perimeter is 2L plus 2W. It says the length or the long side is 4 inches greater than its width. Well, what's the width? We don't know what the width is, so I'm going to put W. The length is 4 inches greater than that. So it's going to be whatever the width is plus 4 more inches. So that means this side is going to be W plus 4. So W plus 4 is a long side, or L. So L equals W plus 4. And the width is just W. So if I use this formula here, we know that the perimeter is going to be 24. So this is P. So this is 24 equals 2 times L. Put L in parentheses, so that's W plus 4 plus 2W. This is the equation that we're solving. So again, the length is 4 more than the width, so W plus 4, and the width is just going to be the width. You just keep it as W, and they give you the perimeter. So again, the hardest part is setting this up. 24 equals, if I distribute this, I get 2W plus 8, plus I have that 2W behind it. Combine like terms. So this is 24 equals 4W plus 8. Again, I'm trying to get W by itself. You want to solve for the variable. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. Since I already have that W by itself over, I can have the W by itself by moving over this 8. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. 24 minus 8 is 16 equals 4W. Divide both sides by 4. So W equals 4. So that's how wide it is. I know W. They want to know both, W plus W and L. So L, remember, is W plus 4. So whatever your width is plus 4. So this is going to be the 4 that I have over here. So 4 plus the 4 that's here. So this equals 8. So this is my length. All right, so both numbers 4 and 8. All right. At Best Buy, they have a TV, a 42-inch TV that sells for $12.50 and is on sale for 40%. What's the sale price? So you're going to have the price of the TV, and you're going to get a discount of 40%. They want to know, well, how much are you going to pay when you get to the register? So what you do is you take the $12.50, and then you subtract 40% of the $12.50. So it's on sale for 40%. All right, I'm assuming that's 40% off. All right, so we don't say 40% off, because normally that's how sales are written. So we don't take this as, you have this TV, they want to give you 40% off of the TV. So you're going to take $12.50 and multiply it times 0.40 for 40%. So the word percent means per 100. So if you take 40 over 100, you'll get 0.40. Or you can just take the 40 and move the decimal 2 places to the left. Well, where's the decimal? The decimal is at the end of the number if you don't see it. So this is 1, 2. So anytime you put percent into a formula, you want to make sure you change it to decimal form, all right? Or take the number divided by 100. So let's see what we have here. So this is 1250 minus 1250 times 40. Let's see what this is. So 1250 times 0.40. So that's $500 off. So 1250 minus $500 this is going to be $750. All right. All right, let's see. Stereo system is on sale for $180. It was discounted 10%. What was the original price? All right, so I believe this is a question that's going to pop up on the test. I definitely know it's on a study guide, so watch out for this problem right here. They want to know what's the original price of the item. So what was the price before it was on sale? So to get the answer, it'll be similar to what we did above. You're going to take the original price minus the original price times 10%, and that's how you're going to get the sale price of $180. Well, what is the original price? We don't know. So this would be X minus X times 10%. Remember, 10% just turns into 0.10 equals 180. So this is X minus 0.10X. I'm just putting the number in front, equals 180. Well, how do I solve this? That X in the front has an imaginary 1. So if I do 1 minus 0.10, this is 0.90x, or 90%. So you're only, so if it's discounted 10%, you're only paying 90% of it. So to get the answer, I need to divide both sides by 0.90 to get the original price. So 180 divided by 0.90, or 0.9, which is $200. So that's how much the original price was. All right, and the last two part deals with interest. All right, simple interest. So you need to know the simple interest formula. Simple interest is I equals PRT. So I is your interest. Move that down here. So I is the interest. P stands for principal or initial amount, or the amount invested. And R is your annual percentage rate, or APR, as you see it on TV, APR. All right, so a man borrowed $2,580, $2,580 to buy new kitchen appliances for his home. He will pay off the loan in 2 years at an annual simple interest rate of 5%. How much interest will he pay? So the $2,580 is like the money that the interest is being calculated on. They want to know how much is the interest. So in this case, the $2,580 is going to be the p-value. The time, T is time, so I put IPR, I forgot to put T. T is time in years. So this is I equals P. The R would be the rate of 5%. Remember, when you put percent in, you need to move the decimal 2 places to the left, or take 5 and divide it by 100, and you get 0.05. In this case, the time is 2. So to get my interest, I need to multiply all three numbers. 2,580 times 0.05 times 2. And that'll determine how much interest was paid on these appliances. So 2,580 times 0.05 times 2. $258. So that means that this man is going to pay an additional $258 on top of the $2,580, which is the original price of the item. So when you finance something, the company's going to charge you money for the fact that you're being able to pay it over this 2-year period. So $258 would be the interest amount. All right, so all builds up to this problem here, and this problem is definitely a test question, and It's one of these questions where you might have to practice this problem. You're gonna have to use simple interest, and you're gonna have to use it twice in this problem. All right, so I'll show you. So it says last year Owen earned a total of $784 in interest from 2 investments. So 2 investments. So the total amount, the interest is $784. He invested a total of $28,000. So altogether, the money adds up to $28,000. That's how much he puts into these 2 investments, 2 separate accounts. Part of it, he has an interest rate of 2.4%. So R would be 2.4%, which is the same thing. If I take the decimal and move it 2 places to the left, this is 0.024. And then the other account has an interest rate of 3.1%, which is equivalent to 0.031. How much did he invest at each rate? Right. So last year, in this example, the good thing is, if they're talking about last year, your time is just 1 year, which is 1. So let's talk about this. The P, the total amount he has for P is $28,000. But it's 2 separate accounts. So we're trying to figure out how much money is he putting in the 2.4% account and how much money did he put in the 3.1% account. So this is how you set this problem up. You have to do I equals PRT like before. Plus you have to do it again because it's 2 separate accounts. Okay, so 2 different accounts. The I is 784. The first account, you don't know how much money you put in. So we'll just put P. We'll use, it doesn't matter which one you use first. I'm going to use the 2.4%. So that's going to be 0.024. And the time is 1. Plus, well, what am I going to put for this P? We don't know how much we put in the first P, but what I do know is that all together I have $28,000. So that means when I get to the second account, I have to take the $28,000 and subtract whatever I put in the first account. Well, what did I put in the first account? I put P amount. I don't know what that amount is. I just put P. So it's 28,000 minus P. Times R is 0.31. And again, the time is 1 for 1 year. So 0.031. Let me see if I can write that a little bit better. So again, the hardest part is setting it up. All right, and this is the part that trips most people up. The first one is P, and whatever you have, you take that number for the P value, 28,000, and subtract P from that. So P and 28,000 minus P. All right, so think about it. If I had $100 and I put $60 into the first account, that means I'm going to have $40 left over to put into the second account. Well, how do I know I have $40? I'm going to take my 100, subtract 60, and that's what gives me the 40. So that's how you have to think about it. All right, so let's solve this. So 784 equals 0.024p. All right, because when I multiply 0.024 times 1, and 1 doesn't change anything. All right. This is plus, when I multiply 0.031 times 1, I get 0.031 times this parentheses. So now I have to distribute this. So 784 equals 0.024p plus, when I multiply this, so I have 0.031 times $28,000. So that's $868. And then when I multiply this 0.03p times negative p, I get negative 0.031p. Combine like terms. So this is negative 0.31. So this is the negative 0.31. And I got to add to it 0.024. So that's negative 0.007. So negative 0.007p plus 868. All right, and no one likes dealing with decimals or fractions. All right, but we have to deal with it. So here, to get this P by itself, I'm going to subtract 868 from both sides. So I want the P. So 784 minus 868. I get negative 84 equals negative 0.007p. Now I have to divide both sides by negative 0.007. So divided by negative 0.007, I get 12,000. All right, what is this 12,000? All right, the 12,000 is P. Where was my P? My P was here. It was here. And it's beside this 0.024. So when they ask you in my math lab, in the 2.4% account, he invested 12,000. And in the other account, which is the 3.1% account, it's going to be 28,000 minus the 12,000. So if I subtract that, I get 16,000. This is how much she invested in the second account. So the 12,000, I'm sorry about that. The 12,000 is for the 2.4%. and 16,000 is for 3.1%. And notice when you add 12,000 and 16,000, you get to 28,000. All right, I know that was a lot, but it's going to take some practice, so just make sure you practice.